Hi guys, Kathium here, and I've been looking online and I found some new screenshots for the DayZ standalone that got released just yesterday. I'm going to be showing these during the video, don't worry about the gameplay, that's just to fill in the background. But yeah, there are quite a few new screenshots that have been released, and it's all to do with the testing that they've been doing. Obviously they haven't released it yet. But yeah, as you can see on this first one, there's quite a lot going on here. You can see that there's a guy there who's got an M4 that's also got a knife on the end, which could imply better crafting. So you might be able to get tape or something and tape a knife to the end of that. That should be pretty interesting. You got someone being taken hostage by other guys, so obviously there's still going to be the bandit kind of dynamic in there. There's body armor as well being shown in there on the back of that guy in the bottom right hand corner's chest. So that implies that you'll be able to actually make yourself more protected against bullets, etc. This screenshot does look pretty interesting. They've kept with the motorcycle helmets as well, like you've seen in other things. Quite a few of them haven't actually got shoes, which is interesting. Right, in the next picture you can see that person being held hostage again, and pretty much the same as last time. They've still got Humvee wrecks. And some of the people have actually got shoes this time, which is quite a shock. I'm not sure if that guy next to the one kneeling down is a hostage as well, but it might look a bit like it. It seems here that the guy who's being held hostage may actually be a new survivor. I know he's got an M4 in his back, but he's only got basic clothing, whereas all of the others, one of them's got body armor, they've got backpacks and everything like that. So I think that this could be an example of being held up on the coast or something. The next picture is, well, obviously looks like that person's about to be executed. I think the graphics on this look a lot better than when they were just a mod. Personally, it just looks a lot more polished off. I don't know whether that's due to post-process effects in it or anything. But it looks like, yeah, they've just taken everything they want from him, or just humiliated him enough, and now they're about to execute him on the floor. The next picture, this obviously shows some people running into a fight. It looks like, yeah, that guy from before, the one being taken hostage, is now running in and fighting with them. But I think that's just a case of that's the player they had at the time. I mean, this is all testing, so you're not going to make a new player just for a couple of extra screenshots, are you? It's just showing people moving in on a house. Then this next one, they've still got the piles of like wood slats there that they had before, and as you can see slightly from the house, that you can see the inside, showing that these greenhouses are now enterable, and that obviously people could hide out inside there, try and camp there, and these people might be going in there to raid it if they've just found someone in there. On to the next one. This is people moving across a field into a small village. This is a typical scene in DayZ when you're playing with a group. If you're going to a new village, you go there and scope it out and everything. Personally, I think these people are a bit silly because they're all going in as a tight pack. However, there's no high grounds around there, so sniping would be hard to do on them. In the other picture, it's got people with, well, that person closest to the camera, just next to the tree, looks like they have some kind of SWAT or military uniform on. I believe that's what it looks like to me. So, yet again, it could show more customization for the clothes. It could show more armor options as well for the clothes. As you can see, he's got that bayonet there as well. In the other picture, they're all huddled around the bridge, and it looks like they're kind of scoping someone out, looking out for someone. All the people in this, everyone's wearing something different, so there's obviously a wide variety of clothes going on here, which does look rather good, because then you can actually customise your player and make him your own. Of course, you will get shot eventually and then have to do it all again, but for the time being, you'll look cool as hell. This picture is fairly interesting. I think it's just showing a gunfight underneath a bridge. There are a couple of bridges that could be possibly, but as you can see, right, you can got muzzle flash during the daytime. That doesn't usually happen in Arma 2. However, this is in a different engine altogether. This is the Take On Helicopters engine. and I think that could be quite useful, because quite a lot of the time in DayZ you get shooting but you don't know where it's coming from, and that would help give a little extra indicator of where they're coming from. The little black line coming from that, I'm not entirely sure if that's meant to mean anything or not, because whenever the developers make screenshots, stuff like that to do with these kinds of things, they put in little tiny subtle things that can show you things off if you notice them. It looks like a bullet cartridge to me, or whatever, bullet casing. That could indicate that you would be able to track players possibly through those casings falling on the ground, staying there, and if you're following them, you'll be able to pick them up. Well, not pick them up, but you'll be able to see where they are on the ground and possibly hunt them down. I know that they are planning a lot of ways to track people in the standalone, because in the DayZ mod at the moment they are doing quite a lot of that with making it so when you eat a can of beans you drop the can, stuff like that. Little things they've been changing would lean towards that you will be able to track players. It probably be quite difficult to find that bullet casing in all that grass, but then that's just a way you can overcome it. If you're on a roadside and you see someone you want to shoot, but you know people are following you, just go into the grass and fire a couple of shots and it'll be less likely that they'll be able to see it. In this final picture, you can see that all those people from before are now shooting at the person underneath the bridge. You can see that obviously they're unarmed, their arms are down, so that would imply that these people are all bandits, and it doesn't look like they're in any kind of combat state, so that would also indicate that they're bandits. You got some of the cloud effects in there from the guns being fired, which are quite interesting. I mean, I know they're using quite processor intensive clouds that they are planning to put into Arma 3, or I think they've already put into Arma 3. However, it does look pretty cool. All of the graphics that I've seen in this look so much more refined and advanced than what I've seen in DayZ so far. I haven't seen a lot of the zombies from this, apart from a few gameplay bits, but I haven't seen the anatomy of the zombies. After a bit of searching around online, I managed to find this handsome chap right here. This is an example of one of the new zombies that are going into the game. I can see from this they look a lot more refined. Everything on them, even like the flesh that's probably bitten off around the stomach area, it seems to have a lot more depth to it. I'm really excited to see what they actually do with this. I know they're putting in women zombies as well, which is going to be quite a breakthrough, because you know there are no men in DayZ. There are no women in DayZ. I mean, sorry about that. Apart from the survival women, but no women zombies, which actually quite a lot of people have talked about from playing online and that. I'd like to say on this subject of this picture, I really like what they've done with the hands. I mean, if you can see the hands, they're really rigid, and you know, just the way they're standing is really sharp, and it just looks like you'd imagine the undead to have their hands like. Okay, so thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment or liking. If you enjoyed it that much, you could even possibly give me a little subscription. But I'm going to leave you now with the rest of the gameplay that I recorded for this on loadout. Just bear in mind that I'm a noob on this and I haven't been able to play it properly due to graphics card difficulties in the last few weeks. And yeah, enjoy.
Kill confirmed. Kill assist. Kill confirmed. are in the lead. The enemy has scored, and the match is now tied. 5 captures remain. Four captures remain. 3 captures remain. The enemy has 5 captures remaining. The enemy has 4 captures remaining. Two captures remain.
You are victorious.
1 capture remains.